Boch, the first of what will be 3 excellent pitching matchups coming up here. This one didn't disappoint. Rangers come out on the wrong side of it, though. So just what's your overall takeaway from this one?
Well, first of all, our guy was outstanding. Jacob, terrific job he did. Walks. He really had good stuff tonight, good location. He did a really, really nice job. Their guy was tough. He was tough on us. He got us to expand with 2 strikes quite a bit all night. We did. That's unlike us. We did do some chasing there, but I thought this would be a low-scoring game. That's what it was, and they got the leadoff homer, and of course that last inning they got a couple breaks, and we didn't. The ball Pilar hits, and they make a good play on, and of course the last play.
With DeGrom, just what difference did you see from Seattle to tonight?
Well, I think more than anything, he was just locating, a lot better. That's who he is. Both sides, all his pitches, he was on top of his game. His overall stuff was up too. A really nice job against a tough lineup.
Dustin Harris had 2 hits off of Yamamoto. I know he came up to fill the void for Langford, but just what can you say about the job that he's done and how comfortable he's looked in some big situations up here?
Yeah, the kid's done a nice job, hasn't he? He does a good job in the outfield, getting quality at bats. He looks comfortable up there. He's calm and laying off some tough pitches, but it's good to see him playing like this.
Okay, what were you trying to get from Carapazza at the end of the game?
Just to make sure that he got a look at it too. Both of them. The ball looked foul, and it hit something and kicked back. We can't tell where we're at, but I guess it kicked back, and whether it caught the bag or not, that determines if it's fair, and that's what they were saying.
But there was no indication that he had called it foul, that Carapazza had called it foul?
No.
Okay. On Jacob, how important to you was the uptick in velocity?
Again, I don't get caught up into that. He's going to have his games like this, and it's a matter of building strength and stamina as you go. And I said this would be the case with him, and he showed it tonight.
That was the best Jacob's looked since 23, you think?
I'd say yes. He was really good. He's thrown some good games in 23. It's hard to compare that to last year when he's just coming off the surgery. And tonight, I think that's fair to say.
Offensively, obviously Yamamoto is so good. I guess you said you guys were chasing a lot with 2 strikes. Was there anything else in particular that made it so difficult for you guys to get a lot going off of him?
He has really, really good stuff. He's got velocity and command. He's got a good split. It's a big pitch for him. It's hard to lay off it. It is. You get your work cut out when you're facing him. And he's got a good curveball and a slider. He uses all his pitches, and he does, a good job of executing his 2-strike pitches. And he's just really tough. And we knew that going in, and you just hope to scratch and claw for a run or 2 there when you get guys on base. We did have some chances, just couldn't get a hit to get somebody in.
On the leadoff home run to Edmund, pitch was up, and it seemed like Jacob just after that the location was back to DeGrom location, and he's had a problem with stuff being up a little bit this year, more than typical. Did you see any kind of reaction from him? Anything that indicated, all right, I've had enough of this?
Yeah. No, I guess you could say after that, he made an adjustment, which pitchers do when that ball left the ballpark. Hey, I got to get the ball down. He can answer that better than me, but he started locating better. And, it's the first hitter of the game. He wants to make sure he throws strikes, and, the guy put a good swing on it. That's all. Yeah.
Jacob, I know in your last couple of starts you were still kind of trying to find your feel, but what was the biggest difference that you felt today? What step did you think you took?
Just working in between, trying to stay closed longer. Looked at stride was kind of open the past few starts. Shoulders are really level, kind of pulling to the first base side. So trying to, I don't really know how to describe it. I try to ride the slope down and stay closed as long as I can, and then throw the ball and not fly open. So worked on that in between this week. Seemed to take a step forward, but there's still some work to do.
I think my mind wants to believe this. Tell me if it's true or not. After you got the ball up to Edmund and he hits the home run, just kind of imagine that you said, look, this is enough. I'm not going to go through this. And you just willed the ball down. Did you feel a little bit like that?
I pitch at my best when I'm down. That's what I've struggled with so far this year. And that was a mistake up. And I was like, hey, that ball went over the fence. I'm like, all right, let's go. Lock this in, get it down. Going in, it's probably going to be a low-scoring game. Yamamoto's throwing the ball really well. And I was like, hey, that's all they get. And tried to refocus and put up zeros and give us a chance.
How much of a step of progress do you feel like this was? Because, the numbers look tremendous, but do you?
Yeah, it's definitely a big step. It kind of was in and out of the mechanics a little bit. There were times it was good. Some of those 3-ball counts I noticed I was getting a little rotational again, so it was, hey, take my time. You got to make pitches then, and, I was able to get back in a lot of those 3-ball counts and get outs.
Hey, the last thing, there was a little bit of a tick-up velocity-wise tonight. I know you were trying to pitch smarter and not necessarily stronger this year, but did you want to see a little bit of a spike? Did you need to see that for you?
No, I didn't need to see it. It's based on, when I stay closed longer, it just comes out better. So when I'm flying open, that's when it's like, hey, you gotta be smart. If I stay closed, it's smoother. It feels like less effort, and the ball comes out better. So, like I said, there's still more work to do in between to really lock it in.
This is a very Evan question, but how close do you feel to where you are when you are at your best? If you had to,
I would say I'm close. I'm constantly trying to perfect it. This game is a game of adjustments. Hitters make adjustments to you, and you got to keep making adjustments. So the main thing is to be able to lock in my mechanics, and then that's when the location really starts. I'm able to hit the spot more than not, which tonight was a step in the right direction. Yep, thank you.